All right, thank you, Randy. A Minneapolis restaurant owner initially said he would fight allegations going back 30 years that he had assaulted teenage girls at the Children's Theater Company.
Instead, 63-year-old Jason McLean sold his businesses, the Loring Cafe and Varsity Theater, and skipped town. And that's not sitting well with the judge or his accusers. Tom Lydon of the Fox 9 Investigators has exclusive new details on the case. He's here with the latest.
When these allegations came up 2 years ago, you're right. Jason McLean said, I'm going to fight these allegations. I'm going to clear my name. But that just does not seem to be the tack that he's taking here. Jason McLean has missed a half-dozen depositions and hearings in the last year. He's just not responding at all. So last week, a Hennepin County judge declared a default judgment against McLean to the tune of $2.5 million. Now the trick may be finding him and his money before both are out of reach. We've come to Oakland, California, to a hipster neighborhood where a new restaurant called Small Wonder has a very familiar bohemian aesthetic.
The dude own this place? Yeah. He's from St. Paul, Minnesota.
The Fox 9 investigators are here to talk to a man from Minnesota, Jason McLean, who's trying to escape his past.
Does Jason still work here by any chance?
Yeah, he owns it.
Oh, is he around?
Not that I know of.
Jason McLean is the former owner of the Varsity Theater and Loring Pasta Bar in Minneapolis. He sold both earlier this year after he was accused in civil court of sexually assaulting 5 teenage girls at the Children's Theater Company in the early 80s. McLean, in his late 20s then, was a charismatic actor and teacher.
I got cast in this role where I actually had to kiss him on stage.
Laura Adams was just 15, McLean 28. She says he groomed her for months, showering her with attention before he assaulted her.
That one event was clear to me that that was wrong, that I knew that I had been raped, but the fear and shame around that keeps you silent.
By 1984, the theater's artistic director, John Clark Donahue, was arrested for molesting 3 boys. He would later admit to molesting as many as 16. He pled guilty and spent only 10 months in the county workhouse. Jason McLean was investigated too, but never charged with a crime.
I was asked by the BCA if something happened to me, and I said no, because of the fear and shame.
This is a legal judgment entered against McLean for rape.
Last week, after repeatedly failing to show up for depositions, a judge signed a default judgment against McLean for $2.5 million. Attorney Jeffrey Anderson says he knows McLean has the money. Records show McLean sold the Varsity Theater for $2.5 million. He sold the Loring to 3 of its managers for an undisclosed price.
Do you believe he's just playing a shell game with this money?
We know he's playing a shell game. He's a con man. He's a manipulator. He's cunning.
But come to find out, McLean hasn't been spending much time in Oakland. Anderson tracked him down to Mexico, Cabo San Lucas, where this picture was taken of McLean last week. McLean is in Cabo buying this luxurious $1.5 million home with ocean views. The sale is currently pending. McLean is also attempting to buy a hotel for $1.4 million. In a sworn deposition, a real estate broker in Mexico says McLean told him he has more than $1 million in cash he's looking to invest in property.
How hard will it be for you to recover any of the assets?
How hard, we don't know, but hard doesn't stop us.
For Laura Adams, it's a long overdue turning of the tables. Despite the view, for once Jason McLean is the one who's cornered and afraid.
Guilty people run, you know, and he's guilty, and he knows he is.
We were unable to reach Jason McLean for comment, and it's unclear whether he even has a lawyer at this point. If McLean is successful in buying that home and hotel in Cabo, it may be very, very difficult for the survivors to get any money because of a practice in Mexico known as fideicomiso. Foreigners are forbidden from owning property near the coastline, so the bank actually holds the legal control of the property.